Welcome to Footy Kickin Good. This is the West Coast episode. Introducing, the self-proclaimed Prince of Perth and biggest Eagles fan in the state of Victoria, Mikhail Quinless.
Thanks for having me, boys.
I'm surprised at that nickname.
What, Prince of Perth? Or?
Yeah, it was a self-anointed nickname.
And a man who blocked Mick after the 2018 Grand Final, Michael Flynn.
Blocked, as in on social media?
I don't know.
Physically blocked. Yeah, and if it was up to me, it was up to me, it'd still be blocked. I'm still not happy with him.
And last but not least, the man still salty about the 2018 prelim final, Christopher Paduano.
That's more like it.
Why don't we talk about West Coast and Jack Rewell kicking 10 goals against them?
This is getting a bit.
There's a lot of 2018 was a
lot
very
of animosity here.
You know what, guys? I forgot something. You guys keep going. Talk about 2018 for me.
Okay, so the 2018 Grand Final.
Greatest day of my life.
We were pitted against each other as Collingwood and West Coast super fans.
Yep.
And it was pretty devastating on my end. And then I think we caught up for a beer afterwards, and you were like, it was like.
No, we went to the bar. But then I promised myself, I was like, if it was in the other foot, I would feel like I'd want to die.
Yeah,
so I knew I wouldn't give you crap that night.
You were treating me like I was.
Real nice.
Is that yours? Is that yours, Mick?
No.
Where did this come from?
Jamie.
My dad may or may not be an Eagle supporter.
Flynn, the utter disrespect.
Are we allowed to swear on that? Mick's head is blocking it, luckily. That is disgusting. Wasn't there a West Coast fan that got a
Eddie
tattoo?
Maguire.
They got a disgusting Eddie Maguire tattoo.
I think it was like an eagle.
Yeah, you don't have to say what it's doing.
It just reminds me of that. Oh, Jamie, your dad's just made the list.
Yeah, he's made the list. That's fine. But let's move on and go to the actual ins and outs. Avoid the topic, and I don't want to get any more hate from Flinny over there.
I'm the person with the remote.
Are you working the remote?
There you go.
Ins, we got some big ins. We got Bo Allen, number 16 draft pick, Liam Baker, Jack Graham, obviously big pickup, Tom Gross, who I'm very high on, Matt Owies, and Job Shanahan. So, a lot of young ins.
Don't forget about Champion.
And a lot of old ins. So, we got...
Malachi
Champion.
Malachi Champion, great name.
Champion.
Is that possibly the best name in the AFL?
It's up there.
It's up there,
Yeah.
Steely Green's pretty good.
What are the Eagles getting with Jack Graham? Padgy.
Look, we Richmond fans all love Jack. In the 2019 final series, he popped his shoulder out in the prelim and got asked, do you think he can go back on? Went back on, played the rest of the game out, contributed, and didn't play in the grand final.
How many goals did he kick in the 2017 grand final?
He kicked 3 goals.
He was the youngest that day, wasn't he?
I think he'd only played. He was pretty close to the youngest. He'd only played 6 games of footy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's always a few like that. Liam Baker as well. Do you think he will leave a big hole, I guess, in Richmond?
Yeah, I love Liam Baker as well. Just probably aside from his ability, the guy just gave every bit of effort that he had every single week. And I've said for years, I think he's one of the best weather footy players I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going to games where it was raining and he's just marking it on his fingertips at full tilt. I've never seen anyone do that.
What do you think of his speech at the Best and Fairest?
I'm not. Let's move on. Let's move on from that one.
Let's move on. Mickey, you guys obviously get some older talent to come in. You've already got some older talent on the list, but I feel like with injuries and stuff, they haven't been really consistent. So I think you get some consistent leaders, I guess, on the field. Are you more excited about what they can produce?
I think Jeremy McGovern being out there for probably played more than 18 games last year, which is more than he's done in a long time. And Elliot Yeo played 19 games last year, which was, I think he came runners-up best and fairest last year. So that's huge for us. even I was looking, Liam Baker, obviously a massive pickup, averaging nearly, I think, 19 disposals last year with 4 tackles, which what we really need. We need that pressure inside 50 as well. And even Jack Graham, I think he's averaging nearly 4 tackles a game as well. So that's massive
Mick's
for us.
come to the table with some stats. I wasn't ready for this.
He's got them all memorised. What he does in the off-season.
Love it.
I was doing it all because I wanted you guys to be proud.
How tall is Malachi Champion?
I actually
Come on, mate.
All right, we'll look at the outs. Some big outs. I mean, Tom Barras, Jack Darling, Andrew Gaff, even Witherden, Rotham, two guys that, come in and out in that back line. Do you feel like there might be a bit of a pinch now with some of these guys going, especially in the back line?
Barras is a massive out for us because him and Gov, the Twin Towers down back, were awesome. But I think we do have some pretty strong backup down there now. Who else? Jack Darling. He was on his last legs.
Yeah.
He's been awesome for us. I think he was 2 games away from 300, which was, I wish he played 300 with the Eagles. And then also Andrew Gaff, champion of the West Coast, anyways.
Is it right am I right in thinking that Darling and Parker will both play 300 for North this season? I think they're both, which would just be such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look right. It's like seeing Michael Jordan at the Wizards. Like, it just doesn't.
I think the AFL have almost lined it up so they could almost be playing against their former sides as well.
View.
Yeah,
and even Zane True being delisted, I think very, very unlucky.
Jai Cully for me.
So the name that jumps out at me is Jai Cully, and when he was picked up in the mid-season draft, they were saying like, if he hadn't gone up for the mid-season, he would have been like a top 10 in the following year. And from what I saw of him prior to his ACL, I thought he was going to be a really good player. I'm shocked to see them not, give him another chance at the level.
I can't remember the side he was training with. I think it might have been Melbourne or something, but they don't have a lift spot. So maybe a mid-season kind of possible pickup. So who knows? We'll wait and see.
He's pretty tall. Like, he wasn't like massive. But I remember
he kicked 4 goals
against Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy could be something.
Yeah.
But after he did that ACL, just hasn't come back at all.
Yep. Job Shanahan as well is a forward who slipped down the draft. You guys probably picked up a few guys who slipped. He's playing down back, so he's going to help out. I think Ryan Marrick playing down back there as well. So they've got a few boys they're trialling down there. And Tom Gross, real rave reports. He played with the B side, but he was probably best on ground.
Nice.
So, good midfield prospect for you guys in the future.
What about, just quickly before we move on, what about Matt Owies? Like, obviously, a pretty decent. Like, it's hard to find small forwards that can kick 30 goals a season. Like, you think they grow on trees, but they don't.
Especially
he was averaging close to 2 goals last year as well.
Yeah.
So
thanks, stat. Thanks, Chua, with the stats.
I know quite a few Carlton supporters that are pretty upset that they lost Owies. That was definitely
and you think about with Waterman and Allen down there, they're going to crash a lot of packs, so he's going to have a lot of opportunities.
I honestly, I have a sneaky feeling that he'll have a pretty decent year.
Yeah,
I just think that he'll still get his goals.
I feel like it's a mixed bag. I feel like you thought a lot with the same with Lockie Schultz when he went over to Collingwood last year.
Yeah, it didn't hit the
small
ground
forwards.
running.
It's hard to be consistent.
Yeah,
but I think Schultz had a bigger name to him than Owies did.
And Owies feels like sort of just a bargain pick. There's not that the expectations aren't that high.
Yeah, no, I agree. Moving on, so our first point, the new coach, Andrew McQualter. What kind of impact do you think he'll have? Because normally we see new coaches come in and the team normally gets an uplift or they play a little bit better that season. Do you think you'll see that with West Coast this year? Because they obviously lost a lot of experienced talent.
You asking?
Oh, you go. You're the West Coast guy.
No, so I've heard with McWalter, the new game style, he wants to play real front half game. So get it in the forward line and keep it there.
Yeah.
And then I've also heard he's wanted to mix. I know he was coach assistant with Melbourne for a while, and obviously with Richmond. So he wants to blend that Richmond Melbourne game style and create obviously a unique Eagles one. So hopefully, the new coach, like you said, revitalises list.
It's always interesting when a new coach comes in to see who they actually value as players, like who they play, who they might drop.
And that was a noticeable thing for me with who they delisted. It seemed like from an outsider looking in, a guy like Withenen, and there was another Rotham as well.
Yeah.
They seem to be kind of, look, I don't want to say lazy, but like they seem to be like loose, uncontested players in the back half. And I reckon he's gone in and just said like, that's not the type of guy I want in my team. Which not a bad thing. But do you think, Mick, that the fact that they went so hard for Baker and Graham was like big influence from the coach being like, I've worked with these guys, I want them? Like,
I reckon he's obviously coming from Richmond. He knows what qualities these guys bring. So if it like I think even like Baker and Graham choosing to go to Eagles was with the coach being appointed. So
yeah.
Well, Graham's not he's from South Australia.
South Australia, yeah.
So even him moving over to Perth was a good
because
get.
he was even meant to go to Port Adelaide last year or something, wasn't he? And then U-turned.
So we've already digged a little bit into it, but obviously always Baker and Graham and the impact they're going to have in their new colours. Do you think they make you better than last year? Like, do you think West Coast is primed to have more wins next?
I
last year?
reckon. What do we had? 5 wins last year.
Yeah.
I'm going for at least 8 wins.
Okay.
I'm hoping for at least 8 wins, and I've said this a few times. A couple of years ago, I think we lost 4 or 5 games by 100 points.
Yeah.
Last year, we didn't lose any games by 100 points. So,
Okay.
if you could become more competitive, especially at home,
Yeah.
I reckon we could aim for that at least 8 wins.
Yeah. No, I don't really know with West Coast, to be honest with you, because I've always felt like some of these bigger clubs, like I see it a lot with Collingwood, and I've normally put West Coast in the same boat, where I feel like they've always bounced back really quick from being on the bottom of the ladder. And I've kind of been expecting it from West Coast the last couple of years. I'm like, they're just going to have a year where they just go. Because remember one year they finished like bottom 3. I think they picked up Gaff, and then next year they win the top 4 or something like
So,
that.
2010 finished last and then made the prelim
Yeah,
next year.
So like I've been kind of waiting for that turn, but I'm not too sure. I think the list still needs to develop. I mean, I think they've brought in some actually really good guys despite trading out pick 3 this year. I think their draft picks have been quite good with Gross, Shanahan, and Bo Allen.
I think the Eagles over the last few years have just lacked that midfield depth.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, and it hasn't helped the fact that Shuey retired and Yo couldn't get on the park. Well, he did last year a bit more. And then Gaff's form just fell off a cliff, So there was, I think out of nowhere, they just had like no midfield depth. But I think having a guy like Graham in the side, he's just a big body. He tackles. It's like you don't realize how important it is having these big bodies until you play against a team that has them.
Yeah.
Like I always feel that way playing against like a team like Carlton when you're up against Cripps and Kennedy when he was there. It's like you notice how easily they can like get out of traffic and break tackles and stuff. I think Graham will be a good inclusion for like a relatively cheap price.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, was he a free agent?
Yep.
Yeah, a free
So we
price.
got him pretty much.
Yes.
For nothing.
Especially, they've got a couple of boys who are injury prone at the Eagles, like Elliot Yeo, I think's gone down again. So they're having someone just established who can probably play 20 games and give some kind of consistency to that midfield.
Yeah.
Will help a lot of the younger boys kind of grow and progress and know what's happening, I guess. And we've already kind of briefed on this, but can this side break away from being a bottom 3 side this year? So, Mickey, I think 8 wins, if that's what you think they're capable of, I think that kind of states that you think they do. They can.
Yep.
For me, I feel like the big one is, all eyes on Harley Reid. For
Yeah.
me, because I feel like in their wins last year, he just turned into like prime Chris Judd.
Yeah.
Put the team on his back and carried him, and I'm wondering, can he do it at a more consistent level this year?
I'm concerned. That my concern with Reid is just whether he can back it up in his second season.
Yeah.
Which is like obviously it's a concern with all first year players.
Yeah.
I haven't really paid that much attention to his preseason, but I think he had a little niggle at one point.
He had a head knock, which
Yeah.
is you can bounce back from
yeah,
that. And then I think he just left the track early. I think early last week with a little strain or something, but nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah.
As reported.
No, good. I feel like with Harley, I feel like he's just going to be that difference maker. And it's probably a lot of pressure on Harley, to be honest with you. But I feel like at some point he's probably going to cop a tag because if West Coast can get some early scalps, they are probably going to identify that he's the guy who's.
I feel like Harley Reid, if he gets tagged, you just put him full forward.
Yeah, true. But I feel like him out of the middle is,
Yeah.
you know, some of his passages of play. The goal he kicked against
Melbourne.
Melbourne with Petrarca trailing him.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely brilliant.
But I think now we do have a few people we can put in that midfield. Like we got Elijah Hewitt coming back.
Yeah.
Probably his first proper season since got drafted a couple of years ago. And even, I know Ruben Jinby plays probably half back, but I reckon we could chuck him in the midfield as that kind of big-bodied player as well. So like you said, if Harley was getting tagged, you put him up forward. I don't think there's many players I could go with him in the forward line as well. And we'll have Baker could run through there. Graham could run through there. So we have a few players that could help out in that way.
Mickey, how excited are you at the potential of Chad Warner coming to the side next year?
Like what all the news reports, you know, he's got a holiday house in Perth and all that.
Baker made the exact same move last year, same time of the year, bought himself a $3 million place down there, and we know what happened there.
You know what they say, when there's smoke, there's fire. So
I think Chad Warner's come out
profound.
Chad Warner's come out and specifically said that at some point he does want to play for a WA side, you know, before he retires. So
I think Eagles have kind of set themselves up to target him now with drafting out picks and all that kind of stuff. Future picks.
You got Hawthorn set of picks next year, so you'll be barracking against my
That's
boys.
Even what I think we traded, like you said, we traded picks. What did we have? Pick 2 last year, or pick 3? We traded that for obviously to get the Baker deal done and stuff. And I think a lot of Eagles fans were annoyed because we did that the same year. We got Hewitt and Jimby.
Yeah.
But we traded pick 3, I think, and that was Harry Sheasel.
Yeah.
That's what Eagles fans are really annoyed about. We could have got a player like Sheasel, but I still think Elijah Hewitt, I reckon he could be a future like absolute gun of the game.
But I think part of it as well is like the fans don't realise West Coast could be speaking to these players, and Sheasel could be like, I don't want to go. That contributes to teams splitting picks up and stuff. Like people just assume it's as easy as like you're in a fantasy comp and you pick whichever player you want. Like it doesn't work that way. And you know, you work with the hand you're dealt, and like I think time will tell. Like I know a lot of people were upset with the trading of pick 3 in order to get the Baker deal done, but I mean like the pick 3 which ended up being Jagger Smith, there's no guarantees on him. Like it's everything. There's no guarantees in any of drafting or trading. Like
with all the things with pick 3, apparently like we gave Baker a kind of word that we're going to get the deal done, and also we kind of told Barras as well, you know, we want to get him over to Hawthorn.
I think as well there's an element of McWalter wanting to deal in good faith with his former club. Like not like ransacking them and like holding them like hostage to like bringing a player through the preseason draft. Like I think there's a bit more.
It's too many games played around the draft and trade period.
And even just a little side thing with the whole Baker thing, his manager is the same one that manages Chad Warner.
All right.
So you know you're getting good good with the manager with Baker, and you know that's in the future they come out to to help you out.
The managers have more power than the bloody clubs do.
100%.
Fair point. All right, moving on to individual accolades. Can we see anybody winning a Brownlow for the Eagles?
Go on,
Brownlow.
Say it, Mick.
Oh, you're free. Nah, not this year anyway. I don't see any Eagle players coming close.
I'm trying to think, is there anyone that could? I mean, Tim Kelly's always very solid, but I think you got to have wins as a midfielder.
Yeah.
You probably got to rack up at least 10 plus, to be in contention, I reckon.
He would be the only one that is a somewhat chance to do anything in the Brownlow. And
then the Coleman. So obviously you got the two boys, Waterman and Allen.
Got to be my boy Waterman.
Yeah. You don't think they'll get in each other's way, basically, or
it's a one-man show.
Jake
Waterman for the win.
Well, they never really played much last year together because Oscar Allen was injured.
Yeah.
So you have both of them up there. Could be real potent forward line. So, but I still reckon Allen could kick more goals than Waterman.
Okay. How do you feel about Brisbane? The reports of Brisbane coming out and targeting Allen.
I saw that, but it's not happening.
Are you confident in staying or
100%?
100%.
Where's he from? WA.
He's West Coast supporter. He ain't moving. He ain't moving, guarantee you.
Okay.
What if the money's good though?
It means nothing. We could offer him whatever he wants.
Nick offers love.
The richest club in the game, mate. We could offer him whatever we want.
Never heard of a salary cap.
All right, all Australians. Any options here?
All Australians, I'd go...
Mick's going to steal mine.
Am I?
Well, say it.
All right. If I have to pick
He's on the
one,
spot.
I'd go Gov again, all Australian, and Oscar Allen. If he stays fit, Oscar Allen.
I'm going to earn props with the West Coast fans. My All-Australian is Brady Hoff as back pocket.
Okay, that's a big call.
He's similar boat to like a Max Michelini.
Yep.
He's like extremely good one-on-one
Yep.
lockdown defender.
Yep.
And I feel like if he has a good year, he's in the mix.
Okay. No, I like him. He's been really good. For me, who did I have actually here? Well, I had Gov as well, and I had Harley Reid potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Kelly as well. You know, you never know.
Tim Kelly he'll get his 25 plus every game pretty much.
Had you got someone?
I think that Reid could get a sneaky into the squad. Don't know if he'll make it to the
40.
team. Yeah, and potentially Liam Ryan for the featherweight title. I knew you'd like that one. Oh.
He's been sitting on that for a while.
I saw him build that up. He just held on it for a tiny bit.
Sponsored by Hungry Jacks.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that video though? It's
Yeah.
insane. He was throwing them.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
There's something in the water with that neck of the woods. Something's happened.
All right, moving on. We're going to play a quick game with Mick.
Oh.
Mick, I've got 10 West Coast players here.
When it said who would you rather, I thought it would be like Megan Fox or... Now it's West Coast player. Who cares?
All right, it is West Coast players. So I'm going to give you 2 players and you're going to just choose who would you rather.
Wait, no. Hang on. You're right. I thought we hadn't done the player to break out. No, you're good.
No, we'll
Keep
do
going.
that
Wait,
after.
who would I write? Like, just who's my more favourite player?
I don't know. Just.
Who would you rather hook up with?
All right.
All right, let's do Shannon Hearn or Jeremy McGovern.
All right. Premiership cap. I'll go Gov.
Gov? Okay.
No, that's correct.
Jeremy McGovern or Darren Glass?
Gov.
Gov?
Didn't even need to think
Jeremy
about that.
McGovern or Daniel Kerr?
McGovern.
McGovern. He loves this McGovern. Jeremy McGovern or Dean Cox?
I'd say McGovern because once I went to ask Cox for a signature while he was walking off the field at Casey Fields, and he just looked at me. He's like, "Later, mate," and I got scared.
How old were you?
You were with me at the game. Is it
Like last year.
No, it's been like what am I now? 33. I'd have been like 20 something.
You're too old for autographs. Mate.
He was like, Vickery was right.
Oh, God.
All right, Jeremy McGovern or Nick Natanui?
Nick Nat.
Are you
No.
serious?
Really?
No, because I've told you, like he announced the name of my first child to the world. We had to pay him for it.
All right, fine, okay. Nick Natanui or Shuey?
Oh, Shuey's like my Instagram photos.
None of this is based on ability.
Anything? No.
No, what is it? I ask you, what is it?
No,
Based on
it's
ability
based. No,
or-
it's your choice,
So
Mickey.
what did Darren Glass do to you?
Who was it?
Natanui or Shuey?
I'll go Shuey.
Based on the mixed criteria, Yo should be up there because we FaceTimed him at a bar.
Yo did send me a personalised message for my birthday.
There you go.
But did someone have to pay for it?
No, I got that just for free.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
I remember that. Just talking to that girl at the bar.
all right. Shuey or Josh Kennedy?
Kennedy.
There we go. Kennedy or Chris Judd?
Kennedy.
That was mate, he's a Carlton player.
Here's the last one. Josh Kennedy or Ben Cousins? Ben Cousins.
Mick loves Ben Cousins.
Yeah, look,
Is it
that's
true, Mick?
Oh, here we go.
There something I heard a story. Maybe it might have been your sister with. She was something of Ben Cousins and had his sweat on it or something.
No. So it was the 2005 AFL NAB Cup Grand Final.
Yeah.
So it was Carlton, West Coast. So obviously we lost, but they have those post-match functions after the game.
Yeah.
So we went for that, and obviously my sister's obsessed with Ben Cousins, and then I was like, and we saw him walk in, and she was freaking out, and he was holding like a Powerade or Gatorade bottle, and she literally went, "Oh, could I have it?" And he gave it to her, and she literally held on to it. I think she's still got it till this day. Like, I kid you not, she still has it.
Hey,
But
blind loyalty.
yeah.
Love it.
But and also with Cousins. But so we were at Perth one time, and we went for an open training session, and he kicked it over, and I marked it. It's like the greatest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, if you can't tell, Mickey's a hardcore West Coast fan.
Probably the greatest thing I've ever.
He
He loves
loves
sad life.
Don't act like if like Nathan Buckley or something kicked it to you, you wouldn't be happy marking it.
He'd put it through my chest. There's darts.
All right, guys. Let's wrap it up. So, player to have a breakout year or underrated? Who wants to go first?
I'll go Ruben Ginby.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've been waiting for him.
I've been waiting for him as well.
Yeah, I've been waiting for him. I reckon he's gonna lay like 34 tackles at some point. It's just
In one game.
yeah. No, the only thing is he needs to maybe just take it a little bit easy on the weights. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up with anyone if he
he's
keeps
too big.
getting. Yeah, he's huge.
I thought you got to say something about him at the festival, taking a piss and getting caught. I was waiting for you to say something stupid.
I forgot about that.
I didn't have to say it.
My player to break out is Harry Edwards.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I almost
Yeah.
had him down. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice one. Mickey?
I've got Elijah Hewitt. I reckon,
He's talked a lot about him.
I reckon he's Chris Judd-esque.
Oh,
He's gonna replace Ben Cousins.
How many
That's a
games
big
has he
goal.
played?
About 3 or something. The one game I saw him.
Judd was number 3. Numerology. Let's go.
Look, I had the two. I feel like Harley Reid can take his game to another level. But other than that, I've got Noah Long.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just think like it's just a Robbie Gray mold.
I reckon you could say a rookie and Mick would go, oh yeah.
Doesn't matter who.
Does not matter.
All right.
The
Well,
Eagles guy. Your internet's too slow. I can't.
Which guy? Who are you thinking of?
He's in the forward line. Well, here we go. Thanks, Patch.
There you go. Oh, we're not going to
Keep
sit through.
talking.
we're gonna wait for you to find your play,
this
Mick.
is-
I'll tell you.
Get it
if
in.
you could get it first. He plays in the forward line.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
Philip Matera.
Josh Kennedy.
Jack Darling.
Yeah, I just scroll past his name.
Maybe he's got delisted.
Jack Williams. Jack
Okay.
Williams. He's a dead eye.
Yeah.
All right.
And I reckon he could kick 30 plus this year as well.
I thought you were going to go with Tyrell Dewar, a name I recently learned.
Dua Lipa. No, he's a gun as well. He'll
Tell me, Mick, what's going on with West Coast Rucks? Who do I need in my team?
It's between Flynn and Bailey Williams.
I think-
they're both crap. I don't like. I don't. Do they have
I hate
anyone
Richmond
else?
don't win a game.
I think Bailey Williams started in the A team, so take that.
I prefer Williams up forward, but I think he'll start as our number one right.
Bailey Williams was like he seemed like a bit of a dud when he first started, but he's really grown into his own.
I really hate him when we first started.
But like he's become a really good player.
Look, here's the thing. I agree that he's improved. I think he's at his ceiling, and I don't think he's. I don't think he's like.
I don't think he's a big numbers guy. He does all the little things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's it. He's good around the ground,
Yeah.
but I need someone who's going to get me hit out. So,
Well, this is just for you. I don't care.
Yeah. West Coast is not your team this year.
Maybe Job Shanahan will come take that spot.
Oh yeah, maybe big boy, 200 centimeters.
Yeah.
Also, Bo Allen will play round one.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
I forgot to mention, I had him in my notes as a one to watch
Yeah.
this year. I
I
think he's going to be a gun.
Yeah, he looks like he's the good.
He's a lock for round one. Put it down.
Is there anyone that's not a lock and a gun at the Eagles this year? Who don't you like?
At the Eagles,
Yeah.
who's the guy that came from Melbourne?
Jaden Hunt. He's all right. I don't
Oh, is
mind.
he a lock? Is he?
Which
Yeah, he is.
which Eagles player ignored your message on Instagram that you can. That's usually how you decide who.
I did try to message Nat and Yuri to thank him for his video, but he didn't reply.
Nah, fair play.
He's just counting his cash.
Yeah, he's counting his cash. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in for the West Coast episode. Thank you for Mick for all his inside knowledge. And you could just see the passion just oozing off him. Oozing.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching.